Look at the palm of your hand. Or better yet, find a single strand of hair that just fell on your shoulder, or a tiny flake of dead skin on the back of your hand. Do you see it? Something trivial, mundane, almost worthless. But here's the thing. You think you actually know who you are, don't you? You look in the mirror every morning. You see a familiar face, a reflected gaze, an entity you call me. You believe you understand yourself because you use this body every single second. You control these hands, you feel pain, you create laughter. But let me ask you, explain it to me. What are you really? What is actually happening behind that skin? What is commanding your heart to beat right now without your permission? What programmed the shape of your eye sockets or the curve of your smile, or even the way you react to fear? Most people give a vague answer. I am a human. I am flesh and blood. I am a sum of personality and memories. But those answers bother me. They don't actually explain anything. They're just names given to a great mystery. Sure, you have flesh and blood, but why are they arranged in that specific form? What is keeping your billions of cells operating like a disciplined army instead of collapsing into a pile of chaotic matter? The truth is, you are stranger and more insane than you can imagine. What we call a human is actually a system manipulating an extraordinary power, something that breaks every logic you've ever known about how the world operates. We are living in a body for which we have absolutely no idea about the operating manual. We take our existence for granted, as normal, as safe. But once you look inside, once you peek behind the curtain of life, you realize you are wielding a terrifying secret. Let me show you what I mean through a simple comparison. Put that strand of hair on a flat surface. Now, find a tiny grain of sand, the kind you'd see at the beach or accidentally find in your shoe. Place them side by side. What do you see? Two tiny, lifeless objects, seemingly nothing special. But this is where reality starts to crack. What if I told you that inside that fragile hair lies a treasure trove of data millions of times larger than that grain of sand? Would you believe me? Step a little closer to the mirror. Look closely at your eyes. Observe every tiny fold in your skin, the curves of your earlobe, or the way your eyebrows grow in a specific direction. You think that's just random? No. Wrong. Completely wrong. Every single detail on your body is the result of an incredibly meticulous and insane blueprint tucked away inside every cell. It's inside each of your cell nuclei is a super long double helix we call DNA. It's so thin the naked eye can't see it, but it's absurdly long. Imagine this. If you took all the DNA in just one human body and stretched it out into a single thread, its length wouldn't be a few meters or even a few kilometers. It would stretch from here, past the Earth, past the Sun, all the way to the edge of the solar system at Pluto, and then back again. Not once, but multiple times. Stop and think about that for a second. Something so thin it's invisible can contain such a vast spatial length. And within that space it stores a massive library. Every piece of information to build you, from eye color and blood type to the way your neurons connect to create thoughts, is encoded using just 4 types of chemical letters. It's a monstrous treasury of data, an eternal library operating silently right beneath your skin. You look at a hair and see mundanity, but in reality, you are looking at a wonder of information storage engineering that no supercomputer in the world today can match. Every form, every function, every bit of life you feel is controlled by this invisible thing, a power acting from within, silent, persistent, and terrifyingly precise. But what should truly make you shiver isn't just its physical scale, but the absolute controlling power these lines of code are executing. Let me tell you about the numbers that will actually break your brain. In every single one of your cells, there are 3 billion pairs of chemical letters. 3 billion. Try to imagine writing a book 3 billion letters long without being allowed a single typo. That is a monstrous number, beyond comprehension. And here is the most terrifying part. Your body isn't just storing that data, it is copying it. Right now, as you are listening to me, your body is creating millions of new cells every second. Every single second that passes, the biological machinery inside you copies those 3 billion letters millions of times over. How insane is that speed? It's like trying to rewrite the entire National Library in the blink of an eye, and doing it over and over, day and night. With such a monstrous scale and speed, shouldn't everything just collapse instantly? Shouldn't errors pile up, causing your body to tear itself apart in genetic glitches and cancer within minutes? But why doesn't it happen? Why are you still sitting here, breathing and thinking normally? The answer is like a magical cancellation of errors. You have an army of proofreading enzymes operating with unthinkable precision. They race along the DNA strands, checking every single letter, cutting out the wrongs and pasting in the rights at lightning speed. It is a perfect dance of balance between chaos and order. A high-level programming engine operating with near-zero error, turning impossible numbers into a solid reality. You are looking at the power of the greatest data management system in the universe. It's operating right inside what you call flesh and blood. And it is this insane precision that is keeping your world from dissolving into dust. But wait, if you think this greatness is just about the numbers, you are wrong. Because behind these precise lines of code lies a truth that will completely restructure how you view your own existence. So, this is where things get truly mind-blowing. You look in the mirror and think you're seeing a fixed entity, a solid and unchanging mass of matter. Wrong. Completely wrong. The truth is, you are not an object. You are a flow. Think about this. Every 7 years or so, most of the cells in your body have been entirely replaced. The atoms that make up your heart, your lungs, and your skin today are not the same atoms that were there 7 years ago. They have left, been discarded, and replaced by new atoms from the food you eat and the air you breathe. You are like the legendary ship of Theseus, where every single wooden plank is replaced until not a single piece of the original remains. So if every atom changes, what makes you still you? The answer is DNA. Atoms are just pedestrians passing through. They take their positions and perform their tasks and then leave. But the blueprint remains, permanent and unchanging. You are not the bricks and stones. You are the architectural drawing. You are not the musical notes. You are the symphony. But here is the real twist that will restructure your worldview. You don't own your DNA. DNA is borrowing you. You are merely a vehicle, an incredibly complex biological machine that these ancient lines of code built so they could continue their journey through time. These lines of code have existed for billions of years, flowing through millions of generations before reaching you. You are not the pilot. You are the output of a grand program manipulating matter to preserve itself. You are a pure flow of information temporarily wearing the form of a human being. And once you realize that you are just a link in an eternal data chain, you will see your place in this universe change completely. Think back to that initial strand of hair you held in your hand. It's no longer just a trivial piece of matter, is it? It is an eternal link. The code within that hair once flowed through the veins of your most distant ancestors millions of years ago, fighting for survival through ice ages and mass extinctions, only to finally converge right here in you. DNA is not just a dry biological term. It is a window looking directly into the most magnificent essence of life. Many would find it terrifying to realize they are just a data storage vehicle, but in fact, it is an immense honor. You are not small. On the contrary, you are a masterpiece of nature's intelligence, the climax of a process of computation and selection lasting billions of years. 2. You are living proof that the universe can understand itself through transcendent chemical structures. To understand DNA is to understand that death was actually defeated long ago through this persistent inheritance of information. Next time you look in the mirror, look deep into your own eyes. Remember that you are not just seeing a simple face. You are seeing a supreme power that has transcended time, a grand program that has triumphed over the decay of matter to create the uniqueness that is you. You are the embodiment of a magnificent victory, a singular and irreplaceable note in the eternal symphony of existence. That is the real story of who you are. Not flesh and blood, but truth. Not dust, but the immortality of information.